How many of you know that Netflix's hit show Narcos is based on a true story? Yes, the show was not just a work of fiction, but it is inspired by real-life events surrounding one of the most notorious drug cartels in history, the Medellin Cartel. And at the center of it was a woman named Griselda Blanco, also known as the Godmother of Cocaine. So, what is the real story behind Netflix's depiction of Griselda? Killing her husband is just one of the many shocking truths that will be revealed in this video. Don't watch if you have a weak heart. So, who was Griselda Blanco? Born in Cartagena, Colombia in 1943, Griselda Blanco Restrepo moved to Medellin at just 3 years old. Once labeled the most dangerous city on earth by Time magazine, was an environment that shaped Blanco's criminal future early on. Astonishingly, at the age of just 11, she was implicated in the kidnapping of a wealthy family's 10-year-old boy, and when the ransom was not paid, it was alleged that Blanco herself shot the child. Sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But this is just the beginning of Blanco's dark story. Her life continued down a dark path. She reportedly became a pickpocket and a sex worker and ran away from home at 19. In her teens, she married Carlos Trujillo, a small-time criminal with whom she had 3 children. The marriage ended in divorce, but their criminal partnership persisted, and it is later believed she ordered his murder. In 1964, Blanco illegally immigrated to the United States, settling in Queens, New York, with her 3 children and her second husband, Alberto Bravo, a cocaine smuggler for the Medellin Cartel. It was Bravo who introduced her to the drug trade. Blanco initially trafficked marijuana, but quickly switched to cocaine. She favored cocaine for its ease of transport. Female couriers often helped with this by using specially designed bras and girdles to conceal the drugs. Both of these were the masterminds behind early cocaine shipments into New York City. On January 26, 1976, federal prosecutors convicted 12 people of conspiracy to distribute large amounts of cocaine and marijuana smuggled from Colombia. However, they failed to nab the leaders of the operation. According to a New York Times article from that time, those leaders were identified in the indictment as Alberto Bravo, his brother Carlos Bravo, and an associate, Griselda Blanco. Blanco was known for outfitting female couriers in special bras and girdles designed to conceal narcotics. Blanco was sentenced to 15 years in prison. However, she escaped the law by fleeing to Colombia. She even accused Alberto Bravo of stealing millions of dollars from their drug smuggling enterprise. The confrontation between Blanco and Bravo was nothing short of dramatic. Bravo, feeling cornered by the accusation, retaliated by telling Blanco that she had let her Godmother nickname go to her head. This was a grave mistake. Griselda Blanco, known for her ruthless nature, reportedly pulled out a gun and shot him dead on the spot. Just imagine how brutal Griselda Blanco could be. And this is just one of the many incidents that have earned her the moniker, Black Widow. After this, she returned to America and settled in Miami to set up her own business in the late 1970s. Blanco's return led to a surprising rise in crime. In the 1980s, Miami was covered in violence, a period known as the Miami Drug War. This era was characterized by the rampant trafficking of cocaine, which had overtaken cannabis as the dominant illegal substance. Griselda Blanco took advantage of the chaos to build a huge narcotics ring. At its peak, the ring was moving 3,400 pounds of cocaine every month. Her methods were as ruthless as they were effective. Blanco didn't hesitate to murder anyone who owed her money, anyone to whom she owed money, or anyone she perceived as having disrespected her. The extent of her brutality was such that, according to the 2014 book, Drugs in American Society, she was directly responsible for the majority of South Florida's murders between 1979 and 1981. Just imagine how powerful and feared she must have been to control such a large drug empire. Now, you may be wondering, was she ever arrested? On February 17, 1985, DEA agents stormed her home, arresting the ruthless Godmother of Cocaine and charging her with conspiring to manufacture, import, and distribute cocaine. The trial, held in federal court in New York City, was a high-profile affair that captivated the nation. Shockingly, Blanco was found guilty and sentenced to 15 years in prison. But the drama didn't end there. Even behind bars, Blanco's criminal mind was relentless. She made a plan to have her associates kidnap John F. Kennedy Jr. But why? Well, She wanted to use the former president's son as a bargaining chip for her freedom. While serving her sentence, Blanco was also charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. The prosecution made a deal with one of Blanco's most trusted hitmen, Jorge Ayala, who agreed to testify that she had ordered him to carry out the killings. This revelation could have been the nail in the coffin for the Black Widow. However, due to a shocking series of technicalities, the case collapsed. Blanco miraculously escaped the death penalty, leaving many stunned at how justice had slipped through the cracks yet again. In 1998, Blanco pleaded guilty to 3 counts of second-degree murder, a move that saw her sentenced to 20 years in prison. But the twists didn't end there. In 2002, Blanco, a lifelong smoker, suffered a heart attack. Just 2 years later, citing her ongoing health issues, she was granted compassionate release from prison. She was deported to Medellin, returning to the city where her criminal empire had begun. So, what did she do after that? Blanco seemed to have given up her life of crime once she returned to Colombia. However, what she had been doing throughout her life was not forgotten. How could someone who have been killing for so long enjoy a peaceful death? It is reported that Griselda Blanco was finally killed in 2012 at the age of 69. She was shot twice by a motorcycle assassin in Medellin, her hometown. Some say it may have been an act of revenge for all the lives she had taken, while others believe it was simply a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. However, regardless of the motive, the death of Griselda Blanco marked the end of a reign of terror that will never be forgotten in the history of drug trafficking. Today, Griselda Blanco is buried in Jardines Montisacro Cemetery, the same resting place as her rival, Pablo Escobar. But wait, the story doesn't end there. Yes, Blanco died, but what about her family? Of her 4 sons, Michael Corleone, Hubert Trujillo, Osvaldo Trujillo, and Dixon Trujillo, only Corleone survives. The other 3 met brutal ends, all murdered in the cycle of violence that surrounded their notorious mother. Michael Corleone, now 45, has not escaped the shadow of his family's dark legacy. Arrested for cocaine trafficking in 2011, he carries on the heritage of the Black Widow. In a dramatic twist that could be ripped straight from a Hollywood script, Corleone is reportedly suing both Sofia Vergara and Netflix over a new series about his mother. He claims that the portrayal is unauthorized and asserts that the use of the family's images and likenesses without their permission violates their rights. This lawsuit adds another layer to the already complicated and dramatic story of the Blanco family. It shows that Griselda Blanco's influence and actions still have an impact today. Her reign of terror continues to be felt through history. If you found the video helpful, make sure to give a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe because we regularly come up with such informative content. Also, leave a comment down below to let us know your thoughts on the Black Widow of Cocaine. Goodbye till we meet again.